So actually, the funniest thing. This is why I thought. This is why I thought before, like maybe a week ago. I thought that they play only three matches on center court and court number one because they want to protect grass. Basically, they want to have as good as a court as they can have by the semifinals and finals, right? So that was my like logic, whatever. Uh, Apparently, that's not the case. They start at 1 p.m. on court number one and 1:30 p.m. on center court because the rich people have to eat their lunch. Huh? It's not 1929 anymore, brother. Like, nobody gives a fuck. I mean, there are some people who give a fuck about the royalty, which is like really weird in my opinion, but okay. Okay, I can take that, but like it's to kiss their ass that much that a global, the biggest tennis tournament, the international tennis tournament has to, the most important matches have to start 2.5 hours later than they should because a couple of 80-year-olds apparently have to eat lunch at 1 p.m. Is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And the second most ridiculous thing I've ever heard is that we have a curfew at 11 p.m. because apparently so this is the crazy thing. So we have a curfew at 11 p.m. Because there are apparently some houses in the nearby facility of Wimbledon, and people live there, and they have to go to school, they have to go to work, whatever. Dude, I remember Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, 2021 Roland Garros semifinal, middle of Corona. There are, crazy laws everywhere. You cannot go out. You cannot go. You cannot go there. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. And the rule was in France, in Paris, France, that you must be home at 11 p.m. You absolutely must be home at 11 p.m. or the police can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Guess what? Emmanuel Macron realized that, there's a fucking big tennis match going around here and said, fuck it. Fuck the corona. Fuck the rules. Let them fucking play. And the crowd loved it and everybody loved it. And it was absolutely epic. And guess what? Not even the most delusional Nadal fans said that, oh, well, if we would, if we would, follow the rules, Nadal would, have a break and he would beat him in 2 days, blah, blah, blah. It was absolutely epic because some rules are really dumb as fuck, and sometimes you have to make exceptions. And this is like, bro, okay, so there should be a goal to finish at a certain period of time because apparently there are some houses nearby. But also, solution would be to simply just pay those people, for example, give them free tickets. Like, dude, I know that people are going to be loud at I don't know, 1 a.m. You can go there and then you can sell those tickets, or you can just simply give them money. Like, let's say, make a rule if there is only one match that finished after 11 p.m., we pay you, I don't know, £100 every day. And the funniest thing is, like, I think so far, maybe it happened like two or three times. And it was like, well, it was once because of scheduling, once because of rain, and then again for because of scheduling. So it's not like it's going to happen all the time. Plus, Wimbledon is only 2 weeks. So on average, yearly, in the middle of the summer, when usually people don't go to school or they are on vacation, it's going to happen like 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times there are going to be a couple of people walking next to your house at 11:30 p.m. or midnight or 1 a.m. Like, fuck it. Like, it happens. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. Like, I live in Novi Sad, Serbia, and there was a big ass fucking festival called Exit right now. And it was on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Guess what? I have to go work tomorrow. I had to go to work on Friday. The music was loud as fuck. The people were loud as fuck. Guess what? I went to sleep. So, like, you have to realize that you come across as an idiot because everybody saw this a mile away. Everybody was looking at the forecast on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and everybody saw that there's going to be delays. And they reacted so poorly. They didn't want to put the covers on, and it's like it's all of that bullshit. They didn't like the roof was not even on, and it's just like what the fuck. And then the curfew, and then basically you try to help Andy Murray as much as you can, and he says, "Please don't put me on last," and then you put him on last, and then he loses in 2 days. So after being up 2-1, so it's like. Bro, like, have some self-awareness, have some flexibility. Like, I understand that there is some certain aspects that makes Wimbledon, like, I don't know, different from other tournaments, right? And it's mostly tradition. But for fuck's sake, like, have some common sense, like, have some flexibility. And it's like you could see it a mile away because it's going to happen eventually. Not every match is going to be 3-0 or 2-0. But if you cannot finish two men's and one women's match in a perfectly sunny day without any rain delays in one day, your system is fundamentally flawed because, like I said, sometimes it's going to be 5 sets, sometimes it's going to be 4 hours, sometimes the women's match is going to be 3 hours. Like, fuck it. And you could not even finish it. You could not finish 3 matches. You could barely finish. The funniest thing today was like they could barely finish two matches, including one women's best of three match during daylight, middle of the summer. I thought. I thought that they would actually have to close the roof for Benches Fiontek set three because that would be the funniest shit ever. They could not even finish two matches. Like they somehow did actually, because it was 6-3. But I think if it would have gone 7-6, they may have had to stop the match to close the room. So there would be an extra like 20-minute delay. So that would be actually hilarious. So actually, I think Wimbledon, the people organizing the tournament have to have some self-awareness because the whole world is actually laughing at you. I know you think you're special. I know you think you're elite. I know you think you're above everybody. And on certain aspects, there is some aura, there's some truth to that. But everybody is like almost not even disappointed in you, almost like comically laughing at you because this is not the first thing that happened, not the first time it happened, and not going to be the last time it will happen. You could see it a mile away. Like as soon as Bublik started going back at Rublev or coming back at Rublik, I was like, man, Novak's not going to finish today. Like you know what I mean? And then of course Bencic, like when one thing starts going wrong, it's going to keep going wrong. And then Bencic blows two match points, and I actually all day I would just want to watch Novak. So I was like, yeah, I see. So actually, that's why I thought that they would actually have to stop the match like 6-6 in the third set to close the room because it's going to get dark outside. That would be like the cherry on top when it comes to awful scheduling. So I think luckily for Novak, it won't matter because he's up 2-0. He's most likely going to win this in 45 minutes tomorrow. Um, he only lost one match being after being up 2-0, and it was 2010 French Open quarterfinal to Jurgen Meltzer, I think. Really important match in his career, by the way. But the thing I wanted to say is that it's probably not going to be like that big of a deal because he's playing Rublev in quarterfinals, and yes, Rublev will have one day off more, but it's Rublev. He's kind of sort of is limited, and I think Novak should be able to beat him in 3 or 4 sets. But the thing I wanted to say that this is low-key a bad thing. This can be a bad thing for Novak because if let's say if Hurkacz actually wins a set here, or even 2 sets. I mean, let's just say he wants a set. So it's 1-1. It's basically a match split in two exact parts. So Novak's biggest advantage is basically wiped out because he's the best, absolutely best at wearing his opponents down, right? It's a physical match, it's a long match, and after a while, your gas tank is going to be empty. But if you split the match in two equal parts, and the first part is 1-1, basically the next match is going to be a best of three. And if you play a great match, you can actually beat Novak in best of three. So that's actually a big disadvantage. So luckily for him, he actually is up 2-0. So he should be able to close this. But let's say if he plays somebody who's a slightly better player than Hurkacz, let's say Prime Berrettini on grass, and it's like 1-1, maybe he's down 2-0, and then there's a break. It can be really difficult for him. So yeah, that was my like quick rant on scheduling. Like I said, it's really I don't know. You have to like as the the people organizing the tournament, you have to kind of realize that Hubble is kind of laughing at you right now. You know what I mean? Like tradition this, tradition that. For fuck's sake, slavery was a tradition 300 years ago. So let's not bring that back. And you have to realize that you're outdated, you're weird, people laughing at you, and logistically, it's going to like it makes things difficult. You got lucky with rain here because if it would have rained a couple of days more, like that would be fucked. That would be really chaotic. But luckily the rain came through, or the sun came through. So I mean you kind of got lucky with that, but when it comes to overall logic and scheduling, like come on, man. Anyways, that's it when it comes to my rant. So yeah, thanks for watching.